Hello and welcome back to another informative video. I'm hoping taking a look at school in particular. This is a day in Germany for a student in school. I think this should be pretty fun. We haven't looked at any school related topics in a while. We've looked at school lunches from different countries, and boy, did that differ a lot more than I would have thought, and was very eye-opening. Now, of course, naturally, it's been a while since I was in school, but you know, I do have my own children in school now, so I know a little bit about what's going on, at least over here. Let's see how it compares to a day in German school. This is from To Be Filmed. It will be linked in the description down below. Make sure to check them out. Here we go.
20 minutes to 8. My walk to school starts.
All right, just in the first scene, I see a lot of differences. First of all, the little stuff, you know, I love pointing out the differences even just between houses and stuff. This is not a new video. This is from a while back. I have to say, this actually looks like modern. Like, at least from my standards over here in the US, this looks like 2025 modern. And I think this is from like 2010 in Germany. Kind of telling, you know, the aesthetic, right? Like this thing, I don't know if that's like the mailbox or what. This kind of cool light fixture there. The door handle is like the length of the door. It's kind of really cool and heavy duty looking. Yeah. Not to mention, this kid looks to be, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10, maybe 11 at the most. I think younger than that, though. Is he walking to school alone? I've always heard that from you guys. It's really kind of odd to see it in motion. Wow, that is amazing. That is not something I see every day here. Just saying. That is a huge difference. Not to mention he's locking the door by himself with the key. Seemed to be some like unbelievable like locking mechanism that required a lot of turns. You know, the fact that this kid figured out that lock, that looks pretty involved. Yeah, German kids must be pretty smart. Music's rather loud. It's cool. He's walking with his buddy. That's always smart. Oof. Coming up to a street crossing. I'm always nervous to see this. Look at them, though. Looking both directions, crossing when it's safe, all by themselves. That is amazing, man. I know people, if you're watching from Germany or nearby, like, I'm sure you're probably like, what's amazing about it? This is normal. It's not normal over here. I love my kids, and I think, you know, they're getting really smart, especially it seems like every week, you know, when they're young, right? You can see changes rapidly. I have full confidence in them, but I just wouldn't want them walking to school, right? Just first of all, way too long of a distance, right? I think most of you probably are not surprised to hear that. Second of all, the safety, right? Too many freaks out there, too much BS that I wouldn't want them having to deal with. Bad drivers. I wouldn't trust them crossing the road. Like, I do trust them. Like, I've seen them do it near our house, you know, with my guidance. But, you know, we're talking crossing multiple roads across a considerable distance. No way. That's amazing that these kids are walking to school in Germany. And they went to pick up a fellow student. Very cool. I mean, I like that idea. She has a cool bag, by the way. Are those cool blinds that I see in the German house videos?
10 minutes to 8. The school doors open.
That's pretty accurate with the time, at least so far here. I'm going to pay attention to the time. See what time they do things, see how long the school day is, that type of thing. So far, at least in this, you know, time zone around 8 o'clock, pretty accurate. Or comparable, rather, to here. Oh, even one carrying a German flag.
walk up the stairs to our classrooms.
Okay. Like the only thing I could kind of point out is surprisingly the backpacks look different. Like, of course, you can get many different backpacks here in the U.S. and probably everywhere, but like the style of the backpacks, it's not like, what color, what superheroes, whatever, not like that. I mean, the actual style of bag is different. These look more rigid and like more compartmentalized. Ours is more like, I guess, like a sack, for lack of a better term. Like, it's very loose and flimsy. Like, that's mostly what the style is here.
Our jackets.
Yeah, those are definitely different bags.
We take off our shoes.
You take off your shoes at school. Interesting. Now, I didn't do that when I was a kid. I don't think they do that now either. That's very interesting. Okay. They're in bare feet.
Now it's 8 o'clock. The school starts.
Okay.
This is my classroom.
No shoes, huh? Okay, now this is cool. This is something that is similar now. When I was a kid, rather, here in the U.S., we had like these small, crappy desks, right? And like it was your own desk, and you were all in rows. And now, fast forward, they have tables or desks kind of grouped together like this. This is cool. I like this. So my kids kind of have this sort of environment. That's cool. They do that in Germany too. They did not do that here when I was a kid in the 90s or the early 2000s, whatever. Now it looks like obviously the kind of cooler window style than we have here. Other than that, I don't see like super differences yet. Okay, there's the alphabet.
Every Monday morning, we meet for school assembly.
Okay, makes sense. Now, naturally, I don't recognize that song. Any Germans out there recognize this? Is this something you sang when you were a little one in school? You have to let me know.
After the assembly, we have to learn. If I have a question, I ask my neighbors.
Wow, look at their pencil case. That's cool. Again, those are even different. Holy smokes. They're stacked. Love how is that math in German? Now, this is super fascinating. Again, these are what? 8 or 9-year-olds? Possibly 10? Their song earlier sounded like they were definitely speaking or singing in German, correct? Now, here, he just said to him, do you know what to do here? That's English. So, damn, these kids are bilingual, trilingual, whatever, like, already? Oh, my God. That's awesome. That's cool. They're, everyone's nice. They're helping each other. That's good to see.
If my neighbors don't know what to do, I go ask the teacher.
Good kid. It's what you gotta do. Don't be afraid of the teacher. Say, I like this kid's shirt. The orca whales, definitely cool. I was so into those at that age. Free Willy, yeah, great movie. I was into that. The orca whales, they're super cool. I think my kids are starting to get into them as well.
Most days, learning ends at 12:15. Then you can do fun stuff.
Wow, so they started after their assembly at like 8:30-ish or 8:20. And then by noon, by 12 o'clock or 12:15, what did they say? That learning's done? That's it? So they do fun stuff here. Very cool. Wow. These kids are good. Again, already? See, if I'd have closed my eyes and was only told the context, these students are going to play a song on instruments. I hear that. I think, oh, okay. These are probably like 8th graders or possibly high school, right? 9th, 10th grade. I'm pretty sure they're younger. That's pretty damn good.
This is the school garden.
Now, this is cool. They did not have this when I was a kid, sadly. I'm happy to report that they do this as well, at least, locally. This is a good idea. School garden is awesome, man. So I'm glad to see that they do that in Germany as well. That is super smart.
And sometimes we have parties there.
So this is after the fun class. Look at that, even a garden shed,
At
benches.
4 o'clock, the school ends. Everybody goes home.
So that's shocking to hear. I know this does vary by country. So I would like to look at maybe kind of school days in different countries as well. If you want to point me in that direction, I'm all ears. That seems like a pretty long school day, although it's a little vague there at the end. Like, is that last 4 hours just fun stuff? It's kind of cool. It made it sound like the learning, like core classes were done at noon, right? And that's it. Very interesting, right? Because that day sounds a little longer, like an hour or hour and a half longer than a school day here. Because I know one of the alarming things about the U.S. is that school, scores and education and stuff kind of over time has gone, I think, the whole consensus is it's gone downhill right here. We've joked about that many times, but unfortunately it's true, right? The education as a whole here is very shaky. It's really good for some people, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of school districts and school scores and stuff are, way down over the past couple decades or so. And one of the other correlations that was funny is typically our school days are somewhat on the longer side in the U.S. compared to other countries I've heard. And, there are countries, I can't remember who it is, if it's Finland or Norway or something. One of those countries, they only go to school for like 3 or 4 hours and they have like way higher test scores, right? And like the U.S. spends all this money on education and has like the long school day, and like our scores are not that great. So anyway, Germany seems to fall in the middle here. Like, I'm sure their scores, I would almost guess, are probably higher. I mean, their standards are different. Seems like in a good way. I mean, kids are learning more languages early. That's automatically a win. And even if they have a longer school day, at least it seems like it's working. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, this is going to be a fun one for comments. Like, you can reminisce where you're from, explain a little bit on what you took from school, if it was overall good or if it wasn't so great, and you did do a lot of learning on your own, I'm all ears. It's how I feel. I feel like I've done most of my learning on my own, not really through school. And of course, some similarities and differences. I see some similarities here and then a lot of differences, right? Unfortunately, you can make the simple cases, right? Schools here have a lot more security issues. A lot of memes about the violence here are a little bit overdone, mind you, but they are still have to be locked up and stuff, and that's pretty wild if you think about it. I'm sure, kind of kids coming into school there, and the security is a little more lax in Germany, I would imagine. So that's an easy W. But look, that was fun. That was a quick look, one little anecdote of what it's like in German school. I'm sure this could vary a lot, but I thought it was pretty interesting. A couple places like in there looked very German, right? It's hard to explain, but it was pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.